Well, if you guys don't think that this wasn't done intentionally for a purpose, the contamination of the Animas River, San Juan River, all of this contamination leading from Colorado, New Mexico, Utah. Very interesting. It is all in the Jade Helm locations, right? I mean, just a few of the states. Is it an accident? Well, that's what we're going to explore right now. And with all things that are done, and when they are done with intention or intentionally, there are multiple facets behind their plan, right? And interestingly enough, what I'm showing you here is the story from Zero Hedge that was just released today. It's about an article from a Mr. Dave Taylor dated from July 30th. This was about a week before the plug release of the Gold King mine by the EPA. I'm going to show you a copy of the actual article itself, and it's right here. EPA plan is really a super fund blitzkrieg. Super fund. That's right. You won't be able to read it here. So let's go back to Zero Hedge and take a look. So this was put in this letter to the other was the Silverton Standard and the minor local newspaper. It was from a retired geologist. And here it is dated from Thursday, July 30th, 2015. And here is the copy. EPA plan is really a super fun blitzkrieg. I'll just read you the highlighted because they did a good job of highlighting the most pertinent parts of the letter. It appears to me that the EPA is setting your town and the area up for a possible super fund blitzkrieg. But make no mistake, within 7 to 120 days, all of the 500 gallons per minute flow will return to Cement Creek. Contamination may actually increase due to disturbance. So actually, there were meetings going on with EPA and some of the stuff that they were doing about some of these area gold mines and stuff like that, right? And some of these people were attending these meetings and hearing what they were planning on doing. And this geologist right here, his attention was piqued. He's like, wait a minute, this sounds like not a very good plan at all, what you guys are considering. The grand experiment, in my opinion, will fail, Mr. Taylor goes on to say. And guess what? Mr. Hessmark will say then, gee, plan A didn't work. So I guess we will have to build a treatment plant at a cost to taxpayers of $100 to $500 million. Reading between the lines, I believe that has been the EPA's plan all along. As I was stating here for you all, that with all of these intentional events that take place, there's multifacets to it. And I do believe this guy's onto something here with this letter and his belief that this was how it was going to play out. I'm going to show you proof of that. But the other facet to this is this. If we have all of this heavy metal contaminations, which is going to last, there is no cleaning that up. There's no cleaning that up. No matter how you look at it, the heavy metals are going to settle down to the bottom of these riverbeds. Are they going to be flushed all the way out into the ocean? Seriously doubt that. Now you have all of the waters that are flowing from the rivers that are leading into a lot of these people's well water supply is going to be contaminated. The EPA is not going to go to every single one of these resident wells all along all of these rivers, pump out all of the contaminants and the water, and then let the river flow back in there with fresh, clean water. It's not going to happen. So, what does that tell you? That tells you that if this was done with intent, they know that all of these people along the rivers are not going to be able to use their well water. Guess what? That leads people to have to seek their fresh, clean water from elsewhere. That's right. When you start looking at privatization of water sources like what Nestle's doing, oh, water is not a right. That's right. Water should be privatized. Really? You're outlawing people from collecting rainwater on their own property. That's their property right. Whatever lands on their property, that is God given according to the law. If it rains on their property, that's an act of God. They can collect that water because it belongs to them and their property. But we know that that's not really the truth, right? We know that nobody really owns their property. You may own the what you believe to be a title, but you don't own the allodial title. Just like when you go purchase a car from a car dealership, the dealer sends the pink slip to the state, and the state sends you a copy of the pink slip. They don't send you the original pink slip to your car. You don't own it. You don't own crap. Are you guys starting to understand here that this is all about the water? The Hoover Dam, California, now this incident right here. What is everybody going to do now? What are we going to do? We know that they're doing it intentionally. We know that they are screwing us. But yet again, no one's going to want to see the writing on the wall and stand up and demand action. You know, you got these people right here that they're showing up at meetings. I would be putting people under citizens arrest. I know they're federal officials, right? They have immunities because why? They're acting under the color of the law under the federal government because they're an administrative agency. Well, people better start standing up and holding these people to task. Before you know it, you're not going to have a country left or a drop of water to drink. But let's take a look. So this is from the Farmington News right here. And this is what he said. This is what this guy said right here in the Silverton. And he was saying that they are looking to start a EPA Superfund. And here it is. From the Farmington Daily News, Silverton residents reconsider need for Superfund in light of spill. So the EPA was pushing for a Superfund. And the people were all, no, 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 no. Then this incident happens. And then the Silverton residents are like, oh, man, now we're left without a choice. No, the EPA forced you to not to have a choice. Once you start realizing that, well, then you can start holding the real criminals accountable. Thanks, everybody, for watching.